Good day to you out there. Welcome to another series, another episode of Living, where we talk about the politics, the histories of Nigeria that we don't think has been taught in schools. That was how the first coup in Nigeria ended. Let's look at the second military government, where we have coup number 2. The new military government announced plans to move away from federation towards a unitary state, claiming that the federal system had forced politicians to play on tribal passions to cement their supporters and thus had driven wedges between the country's regions. But the January coup was given different interpretations. Initially, the coup was interpreted as a nationalist effort on the part of the nationalist army to end the instability of the country. But the BBC interpreted the coup in ethnic terms. It did not see the coup as a bid for clean government, but as an Igbo power play to smash the northern grip on the country. An announcement of moves towards unitary government was misinterpreted. Violent protest demonstrations sparked off in the north. Igbos were killed and their properties destroyed. This happened on the 4th month after General Irosi came to power. The hostility continued, and on July 28, 1966, Supreme Commander Agunyi Irosi was at Ibadan to open the conference of the natural rulers. He was the guest of the Western Military Governor, Lieutenant Colonel Adekunle Fajuyi. Rebellion was reported in Ibadan, Abeokuta, and Ikeja units of the Nigerian Army. By 5 a.m., dissident soldiers entered the government lodge on the morning of July 29th. Officially, as Lieutenant Colonel Gowon said in his broadcast on Azumi Power on August 1st, Irosi and Fajuyi were believed to have been kidnapped and there was no confirmation of their whereabouts. A number of officers of Eastern origin were killed. In Abeokuta, 3 army officers, 2 senior and 1 junior were shot. Lagos Airport, which lay about 2 miles from Ikeja Barracks, was completely deserted. All the offices were closed and no plane was allowed to land or take off. There was minor trouble in Kaduna. Kano airport soldiers were on guard, but work went on normally. No plane was allowed to land or take off. In Lagos, life continued as usual. Offices, shops, markets, and entertainment houses were open. On Ijora Causeway, soldiers searched lorries to exclusion of private cars. State House at Marina, Lagos, the official residence of the head of the national military government, was guarded by armed policemen instead of soldiers who were usually on guard. All was reported quiet in the military barracks in Kano, Zaria, Enugu, and Benin. The police headquarters at Obalende, the Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation and Dodan Barracks also at Obalende. Were heavily guarded by armed soldiers and anti-riot police corps. At Ikoyi, Lagos, exclusive residential area, pedestrians were seen walking at double pace as 10 soldiers with submachine guns paraded the streets in their Land Rovers. In Ikeja, heavy fighting continued all day on July 29 in the barracks. Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon moved to Ikeja as part of the attempt to control the situation. He later reportedly telephoned to say that he had been taken prisoner. In the afternoon, troops from Lagos moved up Ikorodu Road towards Ikeja, but were ambushed near the Maryland area. There was crossfire. Several cars were hit Panic-stricken motorists abandoned their cars. A number of bodies lay on the scene of the firing. Later, when fighting subsided, families residing in the area fled their homes to seek refuge in Lagos. This was the incident in which 3 civilians were caught in the crossfire. There were sporadic shootings in the barracks of the 2nd Battalion at Ikeja all night. By evening, it became clear to Brigadier Ogundipe and his loyalists that rebels were in control at Ikeja, Abeokuta, and Ibadan. At 11 p.m. on July 29, Brigadier Ogundipe made a broadcast appealing to all members of the public to cooperate with the armed forces in keeping the present peace and calm that now exists in our country, stressing that there was no cause for alarm. Earlier, the military government had put out a statement declaring a state of emergency and curfew in Ibadan, Ikeja, and Abeokuta. On July 30, at about 5 p.m., Brigadier Ogundipe in another broadcast said disturbance had been brought under control. Lieutenant Colonel Gowon, in his speech at 11:20 on the morning of Monday, August 1, said he had been brought to the position of having to shoulder the great responsibilities of this country and the armed forces with the consent of the majority of the members of the Supreme Military Council, and referred to the events that had led up to the sad issue of 29th July 1966. From the sad and unfortunate incident of 15th January 1966, he felt that the issue of our national standing should be reviewed to stop the country from drifting away into utter destruction. A decree, he said, was to be issued to lay a firm foundation of this objective with the general consensus of opinion of all the military governors and other members of the Supreme and Executive Council. Speaking at Enugu on the same day, Lieutenant Colonel Ojukwu, Eastern Military Governor, said that the brutal and planned annihilation of officers of Eastern Nigeria origin had cast serious doubt as to whether the people of Nigeria could ever sincerely live together as members of a nation. He thought that Brigadier Ogundipe should have assumed command and said that the only conditions on which a ceasefire was to be agreed had come from the rebels, and that the people of the eastern provinces had not been consulted. On August 2, Chief Awolowo, leader of the Band Action Group, Chief Enaoro, as well as 4 others jailed at the same time, including Lateef Jakande, were released. Later, the same day, it was announced that E.O. Heyo, a action group leader in the East, jailed in 1961, had also been released. On August 4, came the announcement of the release of the former Eastern Region Premier, Dr. Michael Okpara, the former Trade Minister, Dr. Mbadiwe, and 13 members of the banned NNDP, including former Federal Ministers R.O.A. Akinjide and T.O.S. Benson, former Western Region Deputy Premier R.A. Fani Kayode, former Western Finance Minister Obasidi Akran, and Justice Minister Olowo Foyeku, and the party's Publicity Secretary N.A.B. Kotoye. On August 6 came the third batch, including 11 from the Midwest, notably Chief Omo Osage and other former Midwest Minister Miles Imafidon, Oviasu, and Amadasun, detained after the publication of the Owegbe report in April, and 11 from the North, mailing from Zaria province, detained in June after the disturbances. It was reported that the only political prisoners yet to be released were S.G. Ikoku, Secretary of the Band Action Group, and S.A. Adebanjo, who were detained on March 30, shortly after being repatriated from Ghana.
Dreams come alive, you're unstoppable.
On that note, I'm drawing the curtain for today. I believe next time we meet in peace and not in pieces. Don't forget, you can subscribe, like, follow, share, comment. Olushola Ayobami on Facebook, Olushola Ayobami on Instagram. I'm _Shola_Ayobami on Twitter. Living TV on YouTube. Living on all podcasts, be it Spotify, Google Podcast, Spreaker. You can write to us, firstlivingso@gmail.com. You can send your message on 081 34 73 0399. Till next time that we meet again, living, Olushola Ayobami is my name, and I say bye for now.
Take a shot.